JP Morgan is starting to panic about the fact that Donald Trump is refusing to concede to Joe Biden, who won the general election. He is the president-elect. And during a recent call with investors, one of their top guys was basically saying that there could be a nightmare election scenario where Trump continues to refuse concession to Joe Biden. And that nightmare scenario could, yes, dismantle our democracy. That would be a problem, but they're more concerned about how it could hurt the markets. So let me give you those details. So JP Morgan is telling its clients that there's still a chance that this process can descend into complete chaos. Bottom line, Michael Cembalest, who's the JP Morgan Asset Management guy, says a lot of very unorthodox things have to happen for Trump to be reelected. Even so, I'm not ruling anything out. The JP Morgan strategist laid out several developments that could cast doubt on the outcome, including that one or more states submitting competing slates of electors. Those competing slates would then be resolved January 6th by the new Congress through rules spelled out in the Electoral Count Act of 1887. So he says that the nightmare scenario for markets, according to Cembalest, would be if Senate Republicans declare the Electoral Count Act unconstitutional, flip 3 states in Trump's favor to give him the required 270 electoral votes, and Democrats refuse to participate, all of which sets the prospect of dueling inaugurations. Another risk laid out by him is if Barr directs investigators to seize or impound election records to probe for voter fraud, slowing down the process. So the panic here is that would lead the markets to a complete tailspin. It would be a disaster. So just be ready for that possibility.
Oh, so human beings, Americans, alas, relief is upon us that these corporations and banks are now worried about their money. And we might actually get some action now. Not that our lives matter, not the 200,000 plus people that unnecessarily left us, not all of these homeless people under these freeways, not any of you who will probably lose your homes come the beginning of the year because you don't have money to pay for where you live, not the small businesses who have lost everything. But JP Morgan and them are worried about their Benjamins. So now we got something unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, it's both a good thing and a bad thing, because once money is under threat, then maybe there could be a more concerted effort to prevent Donald Trump from staging this coup, which he's trying very, very hard to do. Although it's been pretty pathetic, embarrassing, and led by a bunch of incompetent losers like Rudy Giuliani. But the incompetence that we're seeing from the Trump administration is playing out in a number of different ways. Yes, our democratic process is under threat, but as you mentioned, Aida, so are people's lives. And so 250,000 Americans have already died as a result of the pandemic. Donald Trump still refuses to do anything substantive in response to this virus. In fact, he has announced that he plans on holding all sorts of White House holiday parties in person with no masks. I mean, he's completely defiant. And this has turned into an economic nightmare for many people, not just individuals, but also small businesses that have shuttered. The latest report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the unemployment benefits, or I should note that the number of people filing for unemployment benefits rose for the first time in about 5 weeks, showing that the economic recovery has slowed down considerably. 745,000 Americans were seeking unemployment benefits last week, and that is the first increase in 5 weeks. Jobless claims were about 711,000 the week before, which, by the way, these numbers are insanely high, right? Like even the low number of 711,000 Americans filing for first-time unemployment claims. That's awful, hideous, and unacceptable, but it's now become, expected in these reports that we get every week regarding unemployment. I should also note that a number of protections, like protections that would prevent people from getting evicted from their homes, that kind of stuff, it's going to expire by the end of the year. And we see complete inaction by Donald Trump, of course, Congress still hasn't come up with another round of stimulus. And so the situation is dire for many people. Many people have already felt the economic consequences of Donald Trump. It's just that it hasn't gotten to the markets yet. It hasn't gotten to the stock market yet. And so now that it likely will, we'll see if there's any actual, if more Republicans are willing to finally speak up and hold Trump accountable.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.